guys, it's Tina and I am back, and I am here with another haul video for you guys. Like I mentioned in my previous haul video, I have like a ton of drugstore products that I've been setting aside and I'm really excited to share with you guys. And I decided it was just best to separate them into two different videos because there are people who really love drugstore haul videos and just get a thrill out of finding inexpensive products that are good alternatives to higher end brands. And then there are people that are interested in more high-end brands and they want to see what's new on the market, and in haul videos and reviews they can see if they're worth splurging on. And there are those of us like myself that just loves it all and will watch any haul video. Like, give me a haul video and I will watch it. I don't care what you're hauling, as long as it's makeup, I am here for it. And I've been stepping out of, I want to call it my comfort zone. But when I started out makeup, I started out with MAC. Like a lot of people did back in the day, we started out with MAC products. And I ventured into more SEPHORA type brands. And then, of course, you go into the luxury high-end stores and you get more luxury products. But I've been venturing into the drugstore region a little bit more, especially since Ulta carries both mid-range brands and then drugstore brands. So I can mix and match and take advantage of the sales that Ulta always has. Plus, they have a phenomenal rewards program, and I love Ulta's reward program because you get cash back off a purchase rather than collecting points to get a deluxe sample size of some product. You know what I mean? You actually get cash back. Well, you don't get cash in your hand, but you get cash in your account that you can use towards a future purchase, which I love. Like, who doesn't love that? So I keep stashing my points, and then Ulta always has sales on drugstore products too, whether it's buy one get one 50% off or it's 40% off an entire line. So there's always a sale going on, and I feel like I get things at a better bargain at Ulta than I do at Sephora. So I've just been spending a little bit more time at Ulta, but then I also visit my Walgreens and my CVS's and my Rite Aid and my Harmons to see what's new in the drugstore realm and what new products we can get excited about. And let's be honest, the drugstore has been stepping it up with their product quality lately. Like before, you could barely find any products that were worth it. Great products were just so few and far between, it was hard to really find gems in the drugstore. Now you can find gems almost like every launch. There's something that you can get excited about. So enough blabbing, I can really talk, so I have to mind myself and just get to the products because, I mean, that's what you guys are here for, right? So let's just go ahead and jump right into it. And I'll start off with the less interesting things so we can get them out the way. But the drugstore has been releasing tons of sponges lately. I've grabbed a few sponges from L'Oreal that I've been really enjoying, and so I was inspired to pick up a couple more sponges from other brands to try them out, to see if they're getting close to the Beauty Blender. The Beauty Blender is patented. I guess it's more like a proprietary material that they use for their sponges, so no one can quite dupe it or replicate it, but they can try to get very close. So I picked up the EcoTools Perfecting Blender Duo, and this has two sponges in it. I haven't even opened this yet, but I've been seeing this a lot on YouTube, and I've just been really interested in getting my hands on it. And it was on sale. I think it was on sale at Target, I believe I got this one. And there are two sponges included, and it's not really an expensive buy. And you can use these wet or dry. And they have like a chiseled side, two sides to the sponge. So it's not just an egg shape. It has actual flat sides. And I think these might be good. So they're a little stiff, but once you dampen them, we can see what the results are. And then, of course, Real Techniques released a bunch of new sponges to their collection. And I picked up the Diamond sponge, which I really like. And then I also picked up the Miracle Complexion sponge, which is their orange sponge. And again, it has a flat edge that you can apply against like the flatter planes of your face. And again, use it wet or dry. I don't know how this is gonna go because the original Real Techniques sponge I really didn't like. But then I fell in love with the Diamond sponge, so I'm like, I'm gonna give this guy a shot and see what comes of it, because you never know, I might really love this or really love the EcoTools one. Now, I picked up a few products from a brand that has been a little bit controversial because of their copying of mid-range and higher end brands, and I did a car chat on this. Now, in case you're not familiar, I'm talking about the brand Makeup Revolution that originated in Europe, and they have been they just made their mark by duplicating mid-range and higher end brands, giving us more affordable versions so people who just don't want to splurge on higher end brands can get a drugstore alternative. And they made their way here into Ulta stores and Ulta online. So this is nothing new that they've been doing, but the most recent controversy they fell into was with Kat Von D, where they replicated her light and shade eye contour palette. They pretty much did the same style palette with similar colors, and the kicker was they used the same name and like the same layout, and she was very upset about it. Like I said, I did a car chat, and while I was thinking about it, I was like, excuse you, I don't mind getting a cheaper alternative. I do think it's Kat Von D was justified in being upset, because when you just straight up copy a brand, it's not like you're just trying to find, oh, I'm going to make an all matte neutral palette. Like, you straight up copy the design and everything. It's a bit extra. Like, it's a bit extreme to do that. But at the same time, I'm like, psh, I understand wanting to get a cheaper alternative. So I was like, you know what? What's the harm in me getting a cheaper alternative? I still own the high-end brand. Why can't I try out things? Why can't I have things? Let people enjoy things. So I went ahead, and you can judge me and you can be mad and you can probably dislike this video, but I grabbed the Makeup Revolution Ultra Eye Contour Light and Shade Palette, which is the Kat Von D Shade and Light dupe. Now, the thing about this palette is the layout is similar, the shade selection is very similar, but they're not identical shades. Not even close. They're not identical at all. And to me, the Shade and Light Contour Palette from Kat Von D is still a better alternative. But if you're not trying to break the bank and you just want an all matte palette from the drugstore, go ahead, try it out. But this does have mineral oil, and no, it doesn't have parabens in it. Oh, that's perfect for me because I don't need the parabens. But mineral oil is something that people are a little skeptical about because it can clog your pores and cause irritation. So keep that in mind. But I'm happy it doesn't have parabens, so this means I can really test this out. These shadows are a little thinner in feel. Like, the texture of them are a little thin. They're a little powdery, but at the same time they're smooth. So I'm just saying, if you're a beginner and you want to see if you actually like an all matte palette and you wanted to try it, you know how you try things out before you buy them, before you commit to the high price? You can try this out. See if you really get the use out of it, and then splurge for the higher end one if you're so inclined. I think it's a great way to try products out, and it may be a little sketchy. It's a lot sketchy, but what are you gonna do? It's the name of the game, and people do it all the time. There are always generic alternatives to things. I mean, for your cleaners, there's a drugstore alternative. For your prescriptions, there's a generic brand. So what's the harm in testing them things out? At least that's what I'm going with. Now, I also picked up one of their chocolate bar palettes. This is where they copied Too Faced. So this is the Golden Bar Chocolate Bar Eyeshadow Palette. And I think this one does, yeah, this one contains paraben. And it's funny because it says discontinue use if rash, redness, or itching occurs, and that happens to me. And it says do not eat. Somebody's gonna eat this? I guess because it looks like chocolate. Somebody might be like, ooh, it's cute packaging. I'll give them that. Trying to copy Too Faced. But these eyeshadows, they're very subtle shades. They're very light shades. And this one is even thinner than the matte palette. I think their mattes are much better than their shimmers in this palette particularly. Not overall, but in this palette. I don't like this palette. I wouldn't even recommend it for the price. It's just not this specific one. Maybe they have other ones that are better, but this specific one, it's like all the shades look the same. They're gonna blend together and merge together into just one color. I don't like this one. And again, it's thin. You have to really work to build it up, and it's just not the most like awesome palette you can find. You can definitely find better alternatives on the market. And yeah, I don't think that one is that great. Now, I did also pick up this is a No Photos Please eyeshadow palette. And this is 10 super intense eyeshadows. These are more foiled and really shimmery metallic eyeshadows. Very cute packaging, right? Look at that. Oh yeah. And this one, let's see if it has parabens as well. No, this one doesn't have parabens, and it's like packed with all kinds of dimethicone and glycerin and silica. So it's a very creamy, almost moist formula. And this one's a much smaller palette, but it has really shimmery, beautiful, like jewel tone shades. This guy now, it's a little pricey for what you get, but these shades are really beautiful. They're really shimmery. They remind me of the foiled eyeshadows from Makeup Geek, but they don't crease on me. So this is a nice alternative if you want to try it out. And they have like some beautiful jewel tones in here. Purples, deep green, a deep green, a deep blue, a deep green, some bronze, and a like a gunmetal shade and a black. Really gorgeous colors in this. So this one is actually one that I would recommend, especially since it doesn't have parabens in here. Like, that's a win-win. And then the things that I'm really excited about, because these are products that I think Makeup Revolution does really well, are their face products. I grabbed the Ultra Strobe Balm palette, which is a highlighting balm or cream product. And this one does not have, this one has parabens, but this you would use on your face and not on your eyes. But again, if irritation occurs, just discontinue use. But this has like duochrome, shimmery, balm type, cream type products. And I really like their strobe balm. I have like the large size strobe balm from them. And so I wanted to try out the palette because, again, it's like beautiful shades in here. Duochrome shades. You have like pinks and golds and iridescent blues and greens. It's just a really great way to try out a cream highlight product. And they're in the more duochrome, trendy kind of shades. So I'm really excited for this. And since I don't really use cream products and I have oily skin, I want to try out a cheaper alternative to see how I like. You see how that is? If it's a product that you're not sure about, or if it's a product that you know you won't get tons of use out of, then why break the bank to get it? Just get a cheaper alternative. So I know I won't necessarily use this a ton, so I'm not going to spend a lot on a cream highlight product. So I was happy to find this alternative in the drugstore. So that's what I picked up. Now, they have some gems in their highlight department, right? Another thing that they copied, but people are saying that this isn't a copy because they had this first. So I'm not sure how this goes. It's the Heart Highlight Blush and Bronzer doodads. And people are saying that these were available in the UK before Too Faced actually started doing this. So I'm not sure which way it went, but anyhow, these are their heart-shaped highlighter palettes. I got the shade, this one is Triple Baked Bronzer. So this one is Hot Summer of Love, which is a shimmery light pink. It is a little bit more subtle, but it's a beautiful shade. It's not glittery, it's not chunky, it's not overly like shimmery or shiny, and you can blend it out. Now they also have Triple Baked Highlighter. This guy is Goddess of Love. And this one is also a peachy, like pink shade, but this one is a little bit, I think this one is a little bit shinier. So it has a little bit more like a silver undertone to it. So this one is definitely a highlighter. And then they have this Triple Baked Bronzer again, but this one is the Goddess of Fate. This one has a stripe in it. Well, a trio of stripes. A trio of stripes. So there's like a champagne, like more of a pewter, and then a bronze. And this is so pretty. I really love this. Like, if I could recommend anyone, it would be this one. It's a really beautiful color. It blends in nicely. And like I said, it's not chunky shimmer and like glitter everywhere. It's, to me, these are done better than the Aurora palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. Where they're just chunky, shimmery highlighters that I don't like. So if you're into more subtle and you don't want the chunkiness that's going to emphasize your texture, these are really good. And then the ultimate products from them that I would recommend would be their shimmer bricks. Again, a knockoff of Bobbi Brown. But what is that? Physicians Formula does something like this too. They do a brick. So let's not pretend that they're the only culprits. But these, I don't even like the Bobbi Brown shimmer bricks because again, I think they're just too frosty for me and just too much. These, I got the shade Radiant, and I also got the shade Rose Gold. Now, Rose Gold, there's a Rose Gold and then there's a bronze, and the Rose Gold and the bronze are the same color. Don't even bother. Like, looking at them in the store, they're the exact same color. Now, these have 5 stripes through them, and you can vary depending on your skin tone. You might want to stick more to the light side or the deeper side, or you can use these as eyeshadows, or you can just mix everything together. And these are so good, and these are $5. They're so five or six, and they're shimmery and they're beautiful, but they're not glittery or chunky. They're smooth and they look wet when you like blend them out on the skin. Oh my god, I'm so impressed with these. And to consider that the shimmer bricks from Bobbi Brown are that expensive, and you can get a drugstore alternative that, to me, for my personal preferences, these are better. Like, I really like these a lot. So definitely recommend these. And then I picked up, I think this is the last thing I picked up from them, would be, yeah, their Strobe highlighters. Now, these are more of a baked product. They're not as shimmery. No, one of them is a little shimmery. This is the Strobe highlighter holographic lights. This one is a duochrome. It has like a light gold with a greeny like a greeny teal duochrome to it. These are more baked and they're more lightweight, so it's not as intense. It's almost like the Hourglass ambient lighting powders in that texture, that baked texture. They're very light. This one is the most shimmery one. But then you have the Strobe highlighter Everglow lights, which is this one is a light white with a little bit of a peachy pink undertone. Again, it's a light highlighter, so you can really blend it out, but I would recommend this for more light skin because it's very light. But you can use it as a blush topper. You can mix it in with other highlighters. You can make it your own. And then the most subtle of them is the Moon Glow lights. Again, this one is more of a baked product. It's a light pink, so it's kind of, is it dim light from Hourglass? It's kind of like that. So if you're looking for an alternative that's not chunky, it's not really frosty, it's just like a very subtle light glow on the cheeks, I would recommend this. But be careful if you're darker skin tone. You see how it just adds a little bit of light on my skin, but there's no glitter, no shine. It's just like a little bit of mood lighting hitting me. So really like these as well. Very nice. Now, I did also pick up, I mentioned this before, I picked up, because I've used them in videos already, I picked up a couple of foundations from the drugstore. I picked up the NYX Total Control Drop Foundation. Now, I picked up 4 shades of these, so I'm going to swatch them for you so you can see the shades that I picked up. It's hard to choose the shades online, of course, because the shades are all over the place. The shade description is not really good, and there are barely any reviews or swatches online. So I ended up getting 4 because they were buy one get with the shade selection here. They went really dark and chocolatey, but Ulta didn't really showcase these in all the stores, and I'm not even going to get into that, but I picked up 4 shades, and you'll see the shades swatched on my arm. I think I have to mix 2 together, or there's just one that really matches me. So again, I'm trying these out, and I think they did a good job with these foundations. It's a nice drop foundation, and it's a good way to test out that kind of foundation to see if you like it. And I do like the finish. It's like a demi-matte finish. You can build up the coverage, and I really like the finish. And the wear is nice for dry, oily skin, not dry. Oh God, not dry skin, oily skin. It's a really nice foundation for the price point, for being a drugstore foundation, for having such a good shade selection, and for it lasts a pretty long time, and the coverage is pretty decent. So I do like that. I also picked up their glitter primer. I've been hearing a lot about this, so I'm going to try this out. Again, a nice alternative to the Too Faced glitter glue. I love that. I swear by that. I would recommend that anytime, but I'm going to try this guy out to see how it goes. Now I also picked up another drugstore foundation. I picked up the Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation. Again, I used this in a video. I am the shade Cocoa, and this is dark, and I really like this. I like the finish. It's a lighter weight foundation. I wouldn't call it like even medium coverage because you would have to build it up to medium, but it's a nice lightweight foundation, and I think the drugstore killed it with this. This is like $4.99. The NYX one is like $15.99, so it's pricey. Like, it's pricey, but this, or is it $11.99? It's somewhere up there. It's pricey, but this is $4.99, and this I would purchase over the NYX one. I love this. Like, I really like it. Again, a demi-matte finish, but it's more lightweight. It's not really heavy coverage, which I don't think most people need heavy coverage products, to be honest. You can get away with a lightweight coverage. Just, you don't need all of that. Now, I also picked up some setting sprays. Again, things I've been hearing people talking about, and I want to try them out for myself, become enough. I'm inquisitive. I'm wah. So I picked up the Milani Make It Last setting spray. Everybody has been going crazy about this. It says prime and correct and set. So it's a 3-in-1, and it's 16-hour wear. You can 3-in-1 primes, corrects, and sets up to 16-hour wear. Lightweight spray locks in makeup, and it keeps color from fading and settling into creases. So I'm gonna try this out because I've been hearing great things. Like, everybody is raving over it. And then another one that I picked up is the Pixie Makeup Fix and Mist, and this is with rose water and green tea. I don't know that this is for oily skin. It says for all skin types, and it's not tested on animals, and it extends makeup wear before makeup, and it sets makeup and adds a soft focus finish after makeup, and then anytime you can refresh your makeup with this. So another one that I'm gonna test out to see how I feel, you know, to get a vibe for it. So we're gonna try those out. I should also mention this other highlighter that I got, which is from NYX. It's one of their dual chromatic illuminating powders. I got the shade Synthetica, which is number 5. It's the orangey tone. This was the only one that I saw that I really loved. Like, I swatched them in store. They're really beautiful. That looks a bit too intense, but they're really beautiful. Shimmery dual, okay, that looks way too, they're duochrome shimmer shades, right? And I think NYX did a really good job as well. NYX is another one that has been doing a great job in the drugstore, and this is a great color for dark skin because it's like this peachy orange and it's shimmery and it's beautiful. Another one, I would recommend this because it's a really nice color, and again, they have different shades, but I found this one to be one of the smoother ones. The other ones kind of, because they're dimethic, I think there's like dimethicone or something in here. Has to be, oh, the glycerin in here, so it makes them almost want to clump. The powder particles want to clump together in some of them. I think maybe they're because they were testers, but this one, oh, so good. So very good. And then keeping with highlighters, I grabbed a few more of the Makeup Geek highlighters. They had a sale, and I picked up a couple more of the tones because I really like these highlighters. Again, they're a more subtle formula. It's not glittery or shimmery or crazy, and I really have been enjoying these. And even though they're a little bit more pricey, $20, is it $20? Yeah, I think so. They're if you like a subtle, beautiful highlighter, it comes in beautiful gunmetal packaging. You get a decent amount of product. You get 7 grams. Not the most product you can get, but it's a decent amount of product, and the colors are really nice. The texture is beautiful. It's not glittery again or chunky, and I've just been really enjoying the formula of this. So I got Firework, which is a deeper bronze shade. I got Glitz, which is a lavender. Where am I going? That one is not necessarily the best for me. I got Luster, which I heard a ton of people saying this was nice. It's like a dusty, it's like a muted tan highlight. And I got Rekindle, which is more of a, again, a dusty tan, like and this one has a hint of like a pinky undertone. So I'm really enjoying these, and I just really love this, and I'm happy to add them to my collection. And then I also picked up some lip products from them that I mentioned in my previous haul video. Now, I went ahead also and picked up a Colourpop This is the Alexis Ren times Colourpop bronzer and highlight. This one has like an orangey tone warm highlight. It's more like a camel contour, and then a bronzy gold highlight. And I wanted to try out these products because they've done more of like that hybrid of gel and powder. Now they're doing powder formulas, so I wanted to test those out. And then of course I picked up a ton of Colourpop shades. Now I'm doing a separate swatch video for these, so I'm just gonna quickly mention them because like I got a ton of these eyeshadows, the pressed eyeshadows. I've used a couple of them, but I have a full swatch video coming up for these. And so far, long story short, I do like these. I think they're a little bit powdery. Yes, some of them come off a little bit dry. The mattes are better than the shimmers. It's like the shimmers are hit or miss. You either get a really beautiful one or not so much. And I like them for the price, and I like that they have unique shades. They have more like peachy orangey tones, like more trendy shades. So if you wanted to try out trendy shades, this is a way to get your feet like wet and try them out. It's not, to me, I like them. They're not, would they be my go-to eyeshadows? Probably not, but I like them for, again, those trendy colors. I wouldn't necessarily say they're a go-to for like neutral everyday shades, but if you wanted pops of color, they're definitely a good one to try out. Now, since I mentioned eyeshadows, I'll just jump back into eyeshadows. I did pick up the Persona Identity palette. This is, I don't know who she is. let me just put that out there. I don't know who she is. It's is she a beauty blogger or a beauty influencer? Sona Gasparian. I don't know who she is, but this is her makeup line, and this is her first palette. It's her first makeup item, and it's a neutral palette, and it says it's for brown eyes. Now, it has a bunch of neutral tones. It has 6 mattes and then 6 shimmers, right? Yeah, so it's a nice combination of shimmery shades. There's some bronzy tones. It is good for brown eyes. I think she did a good job at selecting the tones in this. It's a nice palette, and the texture of these are really smooth. The shimmers are really creamy, and buttery is cruelty free. I mean, it's not bad at all. It's a pretty decent palette, so I'm gonna test it out some more. You'll see the swatches to see if it's something that you're interested in, but it's not, like I said, it's not a bad palette at all. I actually really like that. Now, I also picked up 3 palettes from Zoeva. I got the first one here is this one is the Matte Spectrum palette. Now, this has all matte shades, obviously. They're colorful shades. There's some greens, teals, blues, oranges, peachy tones, red like cranberry shade, and a couple of highlight shades. I'm okay with this palette. Would I say run out and get it? No. They're a drier formula. They're a looser formula. They're thinner as well, so they blend out a little bit easier, and you do have to build them up. It's not a total miss for me. But given the price point, given that you can swatch these in store, given that they're international, you do have to ship them here, and the shipping is kind of pricey. I don't know that I would say get this. I just don't know yet. I'm not there. I'm not in love with this just yet. And then I got just the matte palette. They didn't even get very creative with this. They just called it the matte palette. I think this one came out before the Matte Spectrum. So this one is just a neutral palette with orange and warm tones. So this one came out first. Again, not my favorite palette. And then you have the Matte Spectrum. There are some crossover shades with the oranges. They're just, I don't find them to be palettes that I would say rush out and get. They're just not, like, calling, speaking my name, like, again, with the price, and it's just, to me, not worth it. It really isn't. And then to wrap up the eyeshadows, I did grab the full range of the foil pigments from Makeup Geek. These are really nice. I used a couple of them so far in tutorials and looks. These are nice, but they are just, if you've ever used her pigments, if you've ever had her pigments, they're the same as her existing pigments. The foiled pigments kind of threw me off because I expected them to be really metallic, really shimmery, and I expected them to be like a better version of her foiled eyeshadows for me, for oily lids, where they wouldn't crease, because her foiled eyeshadows are really beautiful. You have to give them that, but they crease, they crumble, they're just a mess. And I was like, why not just make them into a loose eyeshadow, because it's not really happening in the pressed form. So she did. She made loose pigments, and these are gorgeous. Some of them I expected to be a little bit more intense, a little bit more foiled, but for what they're worth, they're really beautiful. Now, a couple of them have little balls where they form balls of pigment and they want to stick together. So you have to press them. And somebody was like, oh, I don't have that issue. No, like I literally have balls that just sit in the bristles, and then balls that sit in the balls that sit in the brush bristles, and the minute you go to put them on your eyes, the balls just roll off. Like, it's not fallout, it's literally balls of pigment just falling out your brush bristles, and like you can feel them fall. Because I was applying the eyeshadow, I applied the green one, which is called Voodoo. Is it Voodoo? And the little balls literally just rolled off and they fell on my lap, and I felt them and I'm like, what the heck is that? And I kept going. I'm like, it's not fallout on your cheeks. It's actually just balls of pigment falling off onto your skin and onto your floors. But they have like a ton of neutral shades. I'll show you all the shades again so you can see them. They're really beautiful. I do really like them. Now, I wanted to mention this really quickly before I wrapped up the haul with my lip products. I got these sharpeners from Sally Beauty Supply, and I wanted to mention them because they're one of the best sharpeners I've ever used in my life. Vintage or Tacky, Cora here on YouTube, she did like a, I don't know, like a battle of the sharpeners, and she tried out like a bunch of different pencil sharpeners, and she found these at Sally. People were recommending these. These are the Boutique dual-ended sharpener. Now, they have a different version that's just a regular sharpener, but this one has a dual side, so it has this side and this side. It's not like just two holes on one side, and you can open it up and it holds the shavings and whatever. But the good thing about this is it has like an adjustable divider, the adjustable lever, and this will determine how sharp your point is or how blunt it is. So you move it down and up to create the sharpness of your pencil. And I think this was such a great find, and I wanted to mention it to you guys in case you guys don't watch Cora. This is such a, it's like $2.99 or no, like $3.99 at Sally's, and it's really, really, really good. And now to wrap up the haul, I want to show you a bunch of lip. I know, judge me. Go ahead. This is for research purposes. Like, I am putting things to the test to determine what are the best alternatives there on the market. And these are the inexpensive versions. Now, I picked up a bunch of liquid lipsticks from the drugstore. Tons and tons of liquid lipsticks. So I picked up some of the NYX lingeries. These are the lingerie liquid lips. I picked up Teddy, Ruffle, Trim. This one is, I don't even know which one this is, Embellishment, and then this one is Beauty Mark. These are all nudie shades, and I wanted to test out this formula because it's one of the readily available liquid lipsticks on the market, and there are tons of neutral shades to choose from. So I figured I might as well test this formula and let you know how it goes. Now, I also picked up their shimmery, they have these shimmery lip toppers. They're the Cosmic Metals Lip Cream. And they're shimmery lip products. Like, everybody's coming out with a metallic or a shimmer topper or something. And these are so gorgeous. Honestly, these remind me of cream eyeshadows, and I wanted to put them on my eyes, but they are sticky and tacky. So they're not for the eyes. They're just for the lips. I don't know how much use I'm going to get out of these. But there was so, you know how you find products and you're like, oh my god, they're so pretty, I want them, I want everything, give me everything. That's what I did, and I really didn't need to because but I got a few of these, not tons. I think I got 5 shades of these to try out. Now, I also went into my Walgreens, like I said, and I found this not new brand, but it's a new formula to the drugstore, and it's from a very inexpensive brand. It's the these are from Black Radiance, and I picked up quite a few of these. Again, these were relatively inexpensive. I think these were like $2.99 or $3.99, and there was a sale and a coupon and all kinds of things. Or was it $4.99 with a coupon? I don't remember, but they have nude shades, some berry tones, a purple, a bright red. I picked these up to try out, again, the liquid lipstick. These are called their Perfect Tone Matte Lip Creams. And I haven't tried these yet, come to think of it. I have not tried these out yet. But I'm going to, because that's what I'm testing, right? And also from that same store, I picked up the Jordana Sweet Cream Matte Liquid Lip Colors. And I picked up 5 of these shades. Now these I did try out, I think this red one, and it's reminded me of this liquid lipstick from Colourpop. Now this might look really pretty from afar. This is one of the Alexis Ren lip colors. It's the shade Little Weapon. Beautiful, right? Like a bright red. You're like, ooh, look at that. No, it's so bad. Like up close, it lifted, and I'm hoping you guys are not seeing, because if you guys are seeing this right now and it's just bad texture and you can see it from the distance you are, I'm gonna still post this video, and it's just gonna, you're just gonna have to deal with this tragedy on my lips. But I'm hoping you're not seeing it. It's bad. It's flaky and nasty right now, so don't even think about getting that. That's nasty. Anyway, so this kind of does the same thing as the liquid lipsticks from the Ultra Matte liquid lipsticks from Colourpop, which is like, to me, that's the worst formula I've ever tried next to the LA matte gloss thingamajigs. The Colourpop matte liquid lip things are the worst formula I've tried. And Jordana, this is the only one I tried, which is the most beautiful color, and that's why I wanted to try it, because it's such a beautiful red, and I'm like, oh yes, and no. Because it's thin, and then it flakes, and it cracks, and it just looks a mess. They smell divine, though. But I got tons of the shades. You'll see in the swatches what shades I got. And then I also picked up some of the Vivid Matte Liquids from Revlon, I believe. Is it Revlon or Maybelline? These are Maybelline. Whew. I got 3 of the shades. These are pricey. These are like $8.99 or something even worse than that. So I only picked up 3 shades. Again, when I test out shades, I pick up a nude, more of a bright, like close to red, if not a fuchsia, and then a colorful deep shade if I can get one. So I got the shade Wicked Berry, which is the dark purple. I got Fuchsia Ecstasy, which is a bright fuchsia. And then the nude one is Gray Envy, which is more of a gray tone nude. So gonna try those out. And then the ultimate finds from the drugstore would be the Wet n Wild Liquid Catsuit, Mega Last Liquid Catsuit Matte Lipstick. These are good. I picked up almost all the shades, if not all the shades, because when I tried the first shade out, I picked up like 3 again, a nude, a red, and a dark color. And when I tried them out, I was like, I went right back because they were having a sale, buy one, get one. I am here. Thank you. I have arrived. Thank you very much. I picked up all the shades. These are so good, and they're like $4.99, and they are like, these are my top drugstore liquid lipstick that I've tried. I got all the shades, like I said. I even got like where am I going in this like really light beige? Nowhere, obviously. But it's so good. I couldn't help myself. I got everything. So I'm going to do a separate lip swatch video just for these, because again, I'm doing lip swatches for my favorite formulas, the ones that are definitely worth it, because they're worth it, I ended up getting more actual shades to try out, so this way I can show you more. So those are all the lipsticks that I picked up from the drugstore, but I should mention the last 2 that I picked up from Colourpop. I picked up this Ultra Matte Lip that I am wearing. Again, this is the shade Little Weapon. No, don't get this. Beautiful red, looks a hot mess on my lips. Don't even. And then this Ultra Satin Lip is called Brooklyn, and I got it because it's called Brooklyn, and I needed to, instead of paying $5 for shipping, I just added this in to get me free shipping. Yes, that was my reason, and therefore, what? But this is so pretty though. It's a really pretty warm pink shade. So it's a pink, but it's more warm tone, so it has a bit of yellow and more of a corally undertone to it. So I really like that, guys. So those are all the products that I picked up from the drugstore, and I'm going to be testing out for the next couple of weeks, and I will be giving you feedback when we do a makeup chat video that I am planning to do, and we'll get into all these products. But I have tons of things to try out and test out for you guys, and I'll give you feedback coming up. And of course, you've seen the swatches, and I'm gonna do lip swatch videos. And I've done some lip swatch videos and my lips are so sore. Like, they're not peeling or anything, but they're sore and they feel a little, they're not chapped, because like I said, my lip balm, my By Terry lip balm really does a good job, but they're sensitive, like they're tender. That's the word, they're tender. So I'm just like, eek. But I'm recovering, and that's the thing about lip swatch videos. They can hurt because you're applying like lip remove, add some more. But we have some videos coming up because I did end up getting some lip swatches done for you guys. So stay tuned for those. I will leave a full list of the products mentioned in this video as much as I can remember. And then I will also leave links to where you can pick them up. And if I have links, most of them tend to be affiliate links, which means I will get a small commission if you make a purchase through those links. If you're not comfortable with that, then just go ahead and purchase how you usually do. A lot of the online brands like Zoeva, I don't have links for, so I'll just leave the regular website and you can check them out there. But yeah, until my next video, which will be very soon, I'll talk to you. Bye, guys.